Are you looking to start a podcast but don't know where to start? Well, Anchor is here. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it can sound its best. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. Plus, you can easily make money from your podcast with no minimal listenership. Just like me. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. In case you didn't know, I'm Dylan Lepore, and this is the 21st Monday Morning PlayStation Podcast. Each and every week on Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, a new podcast is released on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcasting services, talking about PlayStation news, games I've been playing, and some commentary on what's happening in my life. If you're not interested in the audio version and want something more, a week later, the podcast is uploaded to YouTube with video, of course, and the question of the day and the show's time codes in the comments below in the YouTube video. You can find the MP4 on YouTube at youtube.com/Dylan Lepore and find the MP3 on Anchor at anchor.fm/MMPP. And as always, feel free to visit my main site, DylanLepore.com, for blog posts, updates, articles I've written, and much more. So, without further ado, let's get this show started. So, I didn't really write anything for this ad-lib part, but I got a new chair. I'm sitting in a new chair I got, which is way more comfortable than the chair I had. The chair I had was just flimsy, and the back was not really no back support. This is more of like a lounge chair I have. Maybe I'll share it on a feed or something. But that is one of my dogs, Stella, right there. Stella! Oh, she's staring at me. She can't. Stella is a French bulldog, and that's all you need to know if you're watching this on the video version. But I have been absent for 2 weeks now, and oh my god, I hate when this keeps happening. Just address it. I'm just like, I keep addressing, hey, I'm back. Oh, it's been 2 weeks. Oh, hey, I haven't been gone for a month. Hey, what's up? How's it going? I just hate doing that. But, you know, it happens, and I have things I have to do, and I'm working on so many things at once that I'm just like, I think writing the scripts is just the most hard. Trust me, it's not that hard to write the script, but it's just work. It's just busy work writing the script for this, and it's just I love talking about it though, and I love writing about video games, but I'm not really big into script writing. It just like put this here, then read this, do this, because it's more of just like making sure I have the structure right, and just making sure I have the necessary articles I need to read, and just structuring it. Even though I have a way I structure it, it's just sometimes it could just be busy work, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then it's just too late. It just ends up being too late to actually freaking do it, which is irritating to me. So with that, again, I want to stress my schedule. I'll be posting a separate schedule video here soon. Maybe possibly tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so possibly tomorrow. Again, I'll remind you that the video version of this podcast you're listening to Dylan Lepore, excuse me, I had a burp, the part-time gamer. This audio will be up today, as soon as I can get it up. And then the video version will be up next Tuesday, along with a new audio version. So if you want to just keep waiting for the video version, or if you just want to wait for the audio version, you can. It's just I did that change. It's necessary for me because it allows me to get my work done faster. Because I can wait. I don't have to wait for the encoding. I have a week to encode a freaking export render, whatever word you want to use, to render a video, because I'm using my laptop here, and it takes me 5 hours to do this podcast, render this podcast in its effects, and then I do the VFX, and then the make sure it's 1080p for you guys. And so I want to make sure everything's nice and good, and so that's why it takes a little bit longer. And plus, I'm using a laptop, so I mean, it's not like I have a machine that's capable. I currently don't have a machine that's capable of doing this any faster, or the way I want it to, because I have this MacBook right here, but no USB ports. I'm not going to rebuy all cables. That's just a waste of money. So I use it as reading my scripts and stuff like that. But I did want to mention, I recently delved into that right there. If you're watching a video on my shelf, that is a bunch of those cases right there. That's a bunch of CDs I have, and I've had collected since I was super young. And I mean, I would say I'm still young, but you know, I got hooked on my iPod again. And this is one I got a couple of years ago from a yard sale for like $5 or something. I think it was brand new in the case. I got the case in my closet right there, brand new in the case for $5, and literally brand new in the case for $5. And I could have resold it. I mean, somebody has it on sale for $200. That doesn't mean it's going to sell for $200. But it's pretty cool, and it reminded me how much I miss iPods, because I love the cover flow, and I love seeing all of your albums there, and I just love the ease of use. Is that I'm thinking about using this more often, because with my phone, this is solely music and podcasts and audiobooks, and that's about it. And with this, it's more of, you got music, but then you got the entire world here too. And so I could put this down and just bring this with me. And you might say, what about all the unlimited music and Spotify and stuff like that? And I'm just like, well, it's also a distraction, and I can hit this all the time, and I'll never have to listen to a freaking ad, because I don't pay for that service, because if you know how to use Spotify, you do not need to pay for ads, because you get enough freedom. It's just, you get enough freedom that you don't need to pay for ads, because if it shouldn't cost that much to take away ads, because if you're on a device that doesn't take data, I repeat this, if you have a device that doesn't use data from networks, cell phone towers, your device can skip unlimited. You have an unlimited amount of skips for Spotify. Unlimited. Because it's not connected to data. I don't know why Spotify does that, but I love it, and they shouldn't get rid of it. But yeah, iPod. And I got the iPod. That's the iPod Nano. I forget what generation. It's 4 gig. I think this is a 1 gig iPod Shuffle. This is the first. This is the second generation iPod Shuffle, which I think is my favorite, because you get this room to clamp it on crap. Get this room right here. But this is not a tech review of the iPods and all my gray iPods I have, and I have my iPad right there, and then I have this. But I prefer Dell laptops and that kind of stuff, and PlayStation, and whatever. I do not like Apple earbuds. I would say that. I like headphones with wires, and I do not need another thing to charge. I would say that. I do not want another thing to charge. But I don't know why I just got into that topic, but I just... You're like, oh, why don't you get wireless? And wireless this, wireless that. I'm just like, oh my god, so much wireless stuff. And then you got a docking station at your house that just has like, you have like 20, you have all the cables at your house, and like you have a table reserved for all your docking needs and devices for every little thing. I'm just like, when will this madness end? Just have a wire with you, and it's just easy. Do not have to charge these. And I hate headphones that have a wire that you have to charge because there's some special feature on it. I'm just like, oh my god. Oh my god. So that's why I have these these Sony headphones as well. These Sony dynamic stereo headphones, MDR V150. These are great, super long cable. I actually read some great reviews about that, but I've had those headphones for freaking years now. Thanks, Dad, for getting me these headphones and this mic, actually. So thank you for that. Those Christmas presents, separate Christmas presents. Years apart Christmas presents. But that is definitely a sidetrack. So, I promised you that I will tell you my schedule. And again, I'll do a recap of this again later. But, schedule. Monday morning, PlayStation podcast is releasing on Monday. The audio version releases on Monday. And the video version releases the next week on Monday. With a new audio version. And then it'll just be a week video. Week 2. It'll just be audio video release. And it'll be like, if that makes sense. This audio version will be releasing next week with a new Monday morning PlayStation podcast audio. Yeah, that makes, you got that right. And then a blog post will release on Medium. And then a week later, it will release on my personal blog on Tuesdays. Those are my Tuesday blog posts, the 400-word writing prompts. And then Wednesday is a random video, and I'll do a random video on something. I haven't came up with a segment yet, but I'll do a random video on something. Thursday is the Thursday afternoon games chat. The audio podcast will release on Thursday. And then next week on Thursday, the video version of that audio podcast that released last week will be released the next week as video on YouTube, along with a new Thursday afternoon games chat audio version, and just does that. Just get those go on. And then Friday is my personal weekly update. Feel free to subscribe. Go to my website. You can DylanLepore.com, and you can subscribe to my new mailing list. There's a link in there. If you have any questions about it, if you want to join my new mailing list, let me know. I can send you a link to it, or I'll put it down in the description. Yeah, I'll put it down in the podcast description and the YouTube description as well, so you don't have to ask me. And you can also go to Twitter or Instagram, and there's a Linktree link that can help you find the all the various things I go to along with my newsletter. So with that, let's get into. I gotta adjust myself here. Let's get into the top 10 PlayStation news in no particular order. Number 111. Alan Wake seems to set for PS4 after Remedy acquires rights. I'm excited about this. By Liam Croft at pushsquare.com. The original article says, Remedy Entertainment, developer behind the upcoming Control, which I'm also excited for, has purchased the publishing rights to one of its most sought-after games, Alan Wake. And with the Finnish studio shifting towards a more multi-platform approach to its games, then this now means that Alan Wake could release on PS4. I would love it for release. I would buy it the day it comes out on PS4. Literally. Purchased from Microsoft for 2.5 million euros. The deal will be made between now and the end of 2019 and sees the publishing rights of the title revert to Remedy. The developer already owns the rights to the IP, meaning can now do with it as it pleases. So, what does this mean for the PlayStation 4? The game now has the potential to launch on Sony's system, but whether that happens or not is now entirely up to Remedy itself. Let's hope for the double whammy, though. A remaster of the original and sequel on PS4. PS5. We've got a dream. We've got to dream big, right? Are you? Then that just goes into question. And then there's an update. Remedy Entertainment has told Eurogamer.net that it could bring Alan Wake to different platforms if we so choose, suggesting a PlayStation 4 port could very well happen in the future. However, it added that it has nothing to announce now, and that it's fully focused on Control, which is due out next month. And I'm so excited for it! I'm definitely going to buy Control when that comes out as well. Because, oh my god, if you haven't seen Control yet, go watch it. It's a super sci-fi, trippy, awesome. Your girl with this gun and it shoots out, like, destroys matter and stuff like that, and it's just, that's what I think it's about. It's super cool, and I haven't seen anything new of it, because I didn't watch the E3 review, the new E3 trailer of it. But I saw some screenshots of it, and I can't wait. So number two, and also, by the way, Alan Wake. If you haven't played Alan Wake, it's like the only game I would go over to the Xbox for. As long with another game. There's another game I really enjoyed on the Xbox, but it was like one of the only games I played on the Xbox that I was just like, this is amazing. It's a great story, and just if you haven't played Alan Wake, do yourself a favor, get an Xbox 360, put in Alan Wake. Number two. Sony looking to buy up new game development studios as PS5 looms, by Robert Ramsey at pushsquare.com. Over the weekend, news broke that Sony is looking to double down its philosophy of producing high-quality PlayStation exclusive titles with the PlayStation 5. With the next-gen console supposedly set to launch in late 2020, you can bet that the Japanese giant is increasingly busy behind the scenes, no doubt preparing itself for the important years ahead. And now, a report from Japanese publication Nikkei, as translated by Gemsta, I think I said that right, says that Sony is considering the acquisition of game development companies. In other words, it could be looking to broaden its already impressive team of first-party studios. This all comes from President and CEO Jim Ryan, who believes that content is becoming more important than ever before. When you look at the PlayStation 4's list of exclusive games and their commercial success, it's hard to disagree. With Microsoft strengthening its own studio of first-party developers thanks to a number of recent acquisitions, Sony's stance on buying up studios may have become more aggressive, at least to some degree. That said, Xbox is still playing catch-up in that department. While PlayStation already has a load of top-tier teams pumping out top-tier games, Ryan is quick to emphasize this as well, saying Sony Interactive Entertainment has 25 years of experience in the games industry and has big assets. And I entirely agree. They have no comments there. Sony, keep putting out your first parties, your Uncharted, your Sly Coopers. I'm making some old reference here, some Ratchet and Clank. You know, even the Spyro is not a first party anymore, but The Last of Us, The God of War, Killzone, Resistance, Little Big Planet, Tearaway. Yeah, I said Ratchet and Clank, right? All those games, all those first party games, even though some of them haven't been made, and new versions of the game that haven't been made in Infamous. Yeah, where's my new Infamous game at? Maybe it might be they maybe do another one for the PlayStation 5, just like they did for the PS4. I don't know, SingStar. Where's a new SingStar game? Yeah, keep pumping out first party games, and we'll keep playing them. Number 3. Cyberpunk 2077 will have 3 different playable prologues, by Liam Croft at pushsquare.com. We really are chumming at the bit for every single shred of information surrounding Cyberpunk 2077, aren't we? Courtesy of VG247, we now know that CD Projekt Red's next Monolith RPG will kick proceedings off in 3 different ways. Depending on your choice during character creation, you'll be treated to one of 3 different prologues that set up the events of the game and pitched as life paths. These origin stories have varying starting locations and different narrative backgrounds, describing themselves as Nomad, Corpo, and Street Kid. These 3 paths are sure to change the experience in a number of ways. And so, that's cool. You get, again, 3 different stories. I love, especially if you ever played like The Witcher. If you ever played Witcher from CD Projekt Red game, there's all different paths you can take, different stories, different areas you can do. Your choices affect the game. This is a more of, I don't know, this could be next level game changing. 3 different stories per game. I don't know if the events will absolutely line up together, but they might be similar events. But they could be, the way this is looking like, they could be game changing in the words of within its own game. That's cool, and I can't wait for Cyberpunk. Number 444, PlayStation Plus, July 2019, PS4 games announced by Robert Ramsey at Pushware.com. July 2019's PlayStation Plus games lineup has been revealed. As per usual, subscribers are getting 2 PlayStation 4 game titles. For July, it's PES 2019 Pro Evolution Soccer and Horizon Chase Turbo. The latter is a pretty fun racer, but we hope you like football. To be fair, we liked PES 2018 Pro Evolution Soccer a fair amount, awarding it a safe but sturdy 7 out of 10 in our review. Again, this is pushsquare.com. And the review said, rather than overhauling the experience, PES 2019 Pro Evolution Soccer continues to refine its gameplay loop with features that fans will come to appreciate in the long term. With no major additions in terms of modes or licenses, however, the 2019 edition feels a little light in terms of real talking points. What Pro Evolution Soccer is known for returns, but it's not stocking many new bells or whistles. Meanwhile, we recommend Horizon Chase Turbo in our Indie Bin feature. Horizon Chase Turbo, with its flat shading and scoring synth, will catch the eye of old school Outrun fans. But while it shares many similarities with Yu Saku's Legendary Racer, it's very much its own thing. Events are segregated into circuits where you'll need to weave in and out of traffic in order to reach the front of the pack. It plays more like a pixel junk racer than coast to coast, but its shifting backdrops and primary colors give it great 90s flair. Rock solid performance and its enormous campaign means that you'll be behind the wheel for a while, but the initial novelty may fade before you see everything that the title's got to offer. The 2 PS4 games will be available to download next week, actually today, starting on Tuesday, the 2nd of July. And now we go straight in to another topic that actually loops into this. They mentioned that there was a football game, soccer football game. Number 555. Sony makes a major change to the PlayStation Plus free games for July. By Aidan Simons. Sorry, I said that right. At PlayStationLifestyle.com. Sony has apparently heard your cries, and as such, it's making some changes to the already announced July 2019 lineup of PlayStation Plus free games. Sony has swapped Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 for Detroit Become Human. Yes! The change would be due to the large outcry from fans following the original announcement. Horizon Chase Turbo will still be available. PES 2019 is the latest entry in Konami's long-running soccer series. While the game in itself isn't necessarily bad, many had questioned the choice to put in an entry in an annual free franchise that came out almost a year ago. It's likely that most interested in the series would have played it by now, though you could also make the argument that there are plenty of people out there who would gladly take a free game, no matter what the game is. Alas, now we'll never get the chance. Until next month, probably. While it is a controversial game in its own right, many would probably agree that Detroit Become Human is a better value. PS Plus members won't just be getting Detroit Becoming Human on its own. However, possibly as a make good to disgruntled fans, Sony is giving away the Detroit Become Human Digital Deluxe Edition. In addition to a bunch of free extras, the Digital Deluxe Edition also comes packed with Heavy Rain. Awesome. So we're essentially losing one game for two games, which isn't a bad deal. And I'm excited about that. You get Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human, which is awesome. Does it say, is it just, I think it's just Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain, because they also have another edition, whereas Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, and Detroit Become Human. And so I'm excited. I played Beyond. I haven't played Heavy Rain. I played a little bit of Heavy Rain. Haven't played it through and through yet. But I personally really enjoyed Detroit Beyond Two Souls, and I thought it was a pretty decent game. And so, again, Sony hasn't outright said why it decided to make the change. However, it's impossible to ignore the large number of fans complaining about this lineup. In all honesty, things have kind of been leading up to this point ever since the removal of PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games from the service. Many had felt that the games being offered since then have become increasingly lackluster with some exceptions, and now here we are. We shall see how the lineup of games looks moving forward. And yeah, I was disappointed by the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 3, them taking away the free games. I mean, I have a PS Vita and I have a PS3 and a PS4, and so I love getting 6 free games every month. It was $100+ in value every month, and I was just like, I don't have to buy a game ever again. So, number 666, Destiny 2 latest exotic weapon adds a support role with healing abilities. This is by Chandler Wood at PlayStationLifestyle.com. Destiny 2 is going the way of the RPG. For years, Bungie refused to use the term MMO to describe their game, until they finally dropped that term during the Shadowkeep announcement. With the newest exotic weapon coming on July 2nd, it looks like we wouldn't have to wait until September to begin exploring what a more RPG like Destiny could be. Hopefully I say this right, Lumina exotic hand cannon will add a support role for those who wield it, both healing and buffing allies, while also being able to get some good damage on enemies. Lumina is directly related to Thorn, a popular Destiny 1 hand cannon that recently returned to Destiny 2. Thorn is the corrupted version of another hand cannon known in the lore as Rose. Its exotic ability puts damage over time on enemies shot with its barbs. Lumina appears to be a purified version of Rose, and some data mined quest steps indicate that we'll first obtain Rose and then use the gun to ultimately earn Lumina. Noble Rounds is the exotic perk on Lumina. Defeating enemies will activate the perk, which sends out an ally-seeking orb that will heal and grant a damage buff. While there are other weapons that will heal the Guardian wielding them, Lumina is the first exotic weapon that creates a kind of support role for enhanced team play and survivability for everyone. Its abilities are very similar to Overwatch's most recent character, Babitas, who is a combat medic and can send out an orb that both heals and buffs allies. As Bungie leans into the RPG side of Destiny 2, we're seeing more distinction between the character classes and more unique roles created by the special abilities of exotic weapons. It's nice to see the addition of a gun that isn't just all about how do we do more damage faster. Players will be able to start the Lumina quest on July 2nd, today, as long as they own the Forsaken Annual Pass. For players who haven't picked up the Annual Pass yet, seriously, you haven't? It's great content. That's what they say. You can still earn the Truth rocket launcher in a quest that was made available to everyone. There are still a lot of activities to come in the months leading up to the release of Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, including the Moments of Triumph, Tribute Hall, and Solstice of Heroes. Players are then expecting a secret quest for the exotic pulse rifle Bad Juju to launch shortly before Shadowkeep releases on September 17th. So that was a lot. And that's pretty awesome. I'm excited for getting Lumina. I still need to get the Truth, and I still need to get Thorn. Just the quest steps, I'm just like, oh my god. It's just, Destiny 2 is just playing Destiny takes a lot of hours out of you, and if you're playing by yourself, mostly, which I usually am because I'm just too busy. I used to play with a team a few years back, 2014, 2016, 2017. I used to play with the team all the time, and we would just like get on every weekend or every freaking day during the summer, and we just play. I'm just like, I can't do that anymore. Especially when I started college. 2017 when I started college. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I mean, I want to play. I just can't do this anymore, and I got to play other games because that's just my job. But I'm excited to try to get Lumina. It sounds like a super cool weapon, but I'm mostly excited for Bad Juju's return. It's been a long time since I ever used that gun, and what if you didn't know about that gun? It actually, when you kill people, it gives you super energy, and it's a auto pulse rifle. Yeah. So I'm like super excited about it. Super excited about the events that I have to grind for. So much grinding. Oh my god. So yeah, that's about it for Destiny. If you're excited, please let me know. Number 777. Blood and Truth developer is confident Sony will continue supporting PlayStation VR. By Brianna Reeves at PlayStationLifestyle.com. Since its fall 2016 launch, PlayStation VR has proven to be quite the boon for Sony. The system has thus far sold reasonably well, and many of the games continue to perform well critically and commercially. It's no wonder, then, that in talking next-gen plans, Sony is already confirming PlayStation VR will be along for the ride. But should early adopters of this system feel concerned regarding this headset's future? Perhaps it's time to cast concern aside. One developer behind a recent PlayStation VR hit, Blood and Truth, seems pretty confident in Sony's commitment to the platform, which I think they said earlier in another article that I think I remember them saying this, that my current PlayStation VR will be compatible for PlayStation 5. I think I read that somewhere. Unless I'm just crazy. During an interview with Edge magazine for the August 2019 issue, SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment, London Studios head of VR product development, Stuart Wyatt, recalled a talk he recently had with two Sony Interactive Entertainment bosses. Apparently, this chat involved discussion of PlayStation VR and Sony's desire to see the platform's present growth. Wyatt told Edge, a few months ago, I went out for dinner with Sony Worldwide Studios head Shuhei Yoshida and Sean Layden, and Sean was talking about, historically, Sony would place bets on things, but I'm not going to name those things because I don't want to be specific. It's like you've got $1,000 in your pocket. You walk up to the roulette table, you put the money on the table, you win or you lose, you're like, that isn't going to work, and walk away. In the past, there was definitely been times when we've experimented with something that hasn't worked, so we shut it down. PlayStation Vita. But from the PlayStation Vita TV, but from the very top of the organization, there's something here with VR. All hardware has limitations, but there's something here that if we don't keep investigating, keep playing on that roulette table, somebody else is going to come along and win big. As of March 2019, the PlayStation VR has surpassed 4.2 million sales worldwide. So, what does this kind of steady momentum and Sony's commitment to the platform mean for the system's next phase? That bit remains pretty unclear. While current PSVR headsets will work with the next PlayStation, the company isn't ready to talk about the hypothetical PlayStation VR 2. In fact, according to Sony's global head of R&D for PlayStation, Dominic Maleson, launching another version of the headset alongside PlayStation 5 would be a mistake. So, there we go. I'm excited. I have my PlayStation VR. You can't see it in the video. Yeah, but it's behind me over there. And it's awesome, fun. It's super immersive, super crazy. Again, if you haven't played PSVR, go out, try to find some station where you can just try it, because some people are like, oh, I tried it and it's okay. But lots of people haven't actually tried it, which is the concern that I have. It's one thing seeing it on video like this, or like a YouTube video, but it's another thing where you're actually in it, and it'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. That's all I gotta say. It'll blow your mind. So if you haven't tried PlayStation VR, do that. Number 8. Bruce Campbell dropped some groovy news on the next Evil Dead video game. By Lucas White at PlayStationLifestyle.com. Almost a year ago, Bruce Campbell announced he was hanging up the chainsaw, so to speak. The Evil Dead franchise as we know it, came to an end as Ash vs. Evil Dead's final season aired. But in an interview, Campbell spilled some beans containing word of an Evil Dead video game. He used the word immersive, which led to a narrative that whatever this game was, it would be VR adjacent. But that doesn't seem to be the case. This news comes straight from Ashley Wilson himself, the new host of Ripley's Believe It or Not, a one-time Call of Duty Zombies mode guest. Bruce Campbell, via Twitter, specifically said, "Hey, groovy gamers, this is a swell time to clarify some incorrect info that might be out there, including from me, Bruce Campbell. The upcoming Evil Dead video game is being developed for consoles and PC, not VR. Sorry for any confusion. Game on." There it is. It seems like whatever this Evil Dead project is, it's a full-on video game. When it comes to licenses and VR, sometimes the end result is more of an experience than a game, which naturally had some fans worried about the scale of this project. Other fans were concerned about accessibility as well, since VR is generally a niche add-on, albeit a relatively successful one. Shout out to the PlayStation VR fans who were excited about an Evil Dead game. We're sorry for the disappointment. Perhaps what Campbell originally meant by immersive was the more simple first-person option. In the past, Evil Dead video games have largely been action/adventure games or third-person survival horror. It wouldn't be shocking to see a first-person shooter or horror game in similar vein to Resident Evil 7, which is an awesome game. Either way would fit. Either one would fit the tone of the series, which is all over the place anyway, which is true. And if you never watched Evil Dead or never heard of Evil Dead or never even heard of the great Bruce Campbell, you are definitely missing out, and I'm sorry for you. I actually got to meet Bruce Campbell. I got to see him. I didn't shake his hand or anything. I got to see him at a WizardCon that happened in Richmond, Virginia, which was awesome. That was a few years back. I got a shirt with his name on it. But that was an awesome seeing him there, and it was just like, he's super funny, and I felt like he was just super awesome guy, man. Yeah, watch Evil Dead, and I got a story real quick. Yeah, it's coming on to me. I got a story. When we were super young, when I was super young, my dad went to Goodwill, and he found a movie on he found a movie at Goodwill, and it was Evil Dead. And so it took me a little while to figure out what that movie was that he bought. But I found out that it was Evil Dead when I watched it myself. I was like, wait, this is the movie that he showed us those years ago. And when he played, anytime he had that movie on, and we saw it downstairs, and we saw the car going up to the cabin, and we were just like, no! Turn this off! I'm gonna cry like this is like some horror crap. My dad's about to show us some Evil Dead when we were 3 years old. Which was horrifying. It was horrifying. There's this lady in the basement with a pencil. It was stabbing people, and we were just like, "What's going on here? This is crazy." Yeah, he would just eventually turn it off because I would always remember that he got that from Goodwill and started playing it that night. I was just like, no! We were crying crap. I was just like, no, this is horrifying. But now that I watch it, I'm fine watching it now. But when I was little, I was just like, oh my god, this is crazy, man. This is crazy, man. But that's the end of story time. It was just a scary moment. So, number 999. The Witcher Netflix series gets its first real promo images by Robert Ramsey at pushsquare.com. We're interested in Netflix adaptation of The Witcher. As regular readers will know, we adore The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and so the idea of seeing Geralt wrestle with moral issues and kill monsters in a big-budget TV series is something that we're more than willing to give a chance. And it looks like the streaming service is kicking off its marketing push for the upcoming show. A number of promotional images have been released showing Geralt and Henry Canville. I'm gonna be forever terrible with names, so you can judge me all you want. Yennefer by Anna Cloretta, and Ciri by Frey Allen. They all look pretty cool. Go see the images. They all look pretty cool. The series itself is set to air some point between October and December of this year, and it will be made up of 8 one-hour episodes. And so one thing what I did notice with the images, and I'm going to clarify this, the Netflix show is based off the books, not the movies, not the video games, as some of the articles I've read have said. That's what I think. I'm pretty sure. I think I read a quote from the actual author that it's based off the books. And so he's only wearing, Geralt is only wearing one sword. And so a lot of people were concerned by that. But in the book, it states that his other sword is supposed to be on Roach, his horse. And so I think that's it, because a lot of people were like, where's his 2 swords at? And one video was talking about, oh yeah, and so I know some people are upset that his swords and that he can't wield 2 swords. I'm like, when does he ever wield 2 swords? Oh my god, people, man. People that don't play video games, don't know it, man. He doesn't wield 2 swords. He wields 1 sword, and it's for different things. But I know a lot of people are upset about that, and it looks okay from the pictures. I thought the pictures actually came out well. I thought it looks very interesting. Lots of people were mentioning that it looks like Outlander or a type of Lord of the Rings / Game of Thrones type thing. And so, I mean, they all have the similar, like, you know, the old European Knights of the Round Table crap, you know. Look and feel to it. But lots of people are worried about it, but I think it'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. I mean, we got freaking Superman in it, and I mean, I think he's a good actor. I believe he's a good actor, and so I think it's going to be a good show. And it's going to be 8 episodes, 1 hour long, so 8 hours of your time. And so we'll see how it is. I know a lot of people are upset about it, but It'll be fine. Trust me. They're there. It's gonna be fine. Don't cry. uh, Number 10, 10, 10. Here it is. The drop from the PlayStation blog, June 28th, 2019. That's when it released. I'm gonna say this wrong. Oh my god. As Divine Dios. Maybe I said that right. I think I said that right. Releasing on PS4 and PS Vita digital, and it's a cross-buy. Among the many worlds of deities have created, there is one world that abounds with life known as divine. But when a spate of disturbance erupts across the globe and an ever spreading murk threatens to destroy it, some guy's name, the deity of as divine himself, takes up his cause to save the world he created with his own hands. His own two hands. That's a song. There it is. Brainbreaker, releasing on PS4. Its digital release out July 3rd. Are you ready to break your brain? While the kids are having fun with easy mode, master players can use different regions in your brain in insane mode. Choose from hundreds of backgrounds to create your own atmosphere. Playing 3 different games at the same time requires multitasking skills. Can you handle it? Can you dig it? What is it? Can you smell it? Can you smell what the rock's cooking? Can you dig it? I don't know. Final Fantasy, what is it? 10? It's 14. 14. Yeah, 14. X. I was reading Roman numerals. Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers. PS4. Releasing on PS4, digital, and retail. Take part in the next saga of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy 14 Online with the next legendary expansion pack, Shadowbringers. Journey through expansive new areas such as the... Oh, I can't read that. Rakatika, Great Wood, Ama, Irene, 2, Meg, and Lakeland. That was easy. Explore new jobs, new races, new cities, and more. Early access begins June 28th. Ovino, PS4 digital release, out July 3rd. Ovino is a mesmerizing platformer with unusual mechanics where everything is as simple as black and white, because the game's black and white. It is a metaphorical game filled with illusions and hidden messages in the world of Ovino. Black and white exists in harmony, but consistently intertwining and replacing each other. They maintain balance. Paradox Soul, this is an actual game I'm looking forward to. PS4, PSV, and PS Vita digital release, cross-buy. Paradox Soul is an exploration-based survival Metroidvania that takes hand-holding and throws it out of the window. Instead of spelling everything out for the player, the only way for Dr. Alan Rose to figure out what's going on in a particular test facility is to descend deeper down the rabbit hole and figure out it all by herself. You are her only hope. Okay, I like the cover art they use for it, for Paradox Soul, and I think I'm gonna buy that one. That's definitely intriguing for me. Scraper First Strike PSVR digital release. Scraper First Strike is the first episode of a planned 5-part VR sci-tech shooter with RPG and exploration elements. It will take the player on a journey through a new IP with fully developed characters, story races, and a world filled with unique and exciting environments. Interesting. I tried playing one first-person game, and you have to move and then look. I got nauseous the minute I started playing. I was like, oh my god. I played another game that was a space shooter, and I think they took that offline. I don't think it has online any mode anymore. Oh my god. I just threw up. I was like, oh. Sea of Solitude, PS4, digital release, out July 5th. When humans get too lonely, they turn into monsters. Set sail across a beautiful and evolving world of darkness and light and discover what it means to be human. Embark on a nonsense and intimate action adventure where players must guide Kay through her sea of solitude in this touching tale of darkness and light. Interesting. That's Sea of Solitude. Stranger Things 3, the game. PS4 digital release, out July 4th. Oh, when the freaking TV show releases. Stranger Things 3, the game, is the official companion game to Season 3 of the hit original series. The adventure game blends a distinctly retro art style with modern gameplay mechanics to deliver nostalgic fun with a fresh new twist. Explore, solve puzzles, and battle the emerging evils of the Upside Down. Which, if you ever played, they have a free Stranger Things 2. They have a free game for the App Store, Google Play, whatever you play on, which was, I actually thought it was a lot of fun. I had to delete it because, you weren't on a memory space on my 8 gigabyte phone. Tour de France season 2019, because you wanted this. PS4 digital and retail release. The yellow jersey is yours. The official route of the 21 stages of the 2019 Tour de France has been reproduced down to the last detail and will take you from Belgium to the champion Elsa's. Sorry, I said that wrong. You can also play online for the first time in the history of the series. Ooh, interesting. Challenging up to 3 other players in shorter, more intense races, which is cool. And so these games, these Tour de France games, these are more about you just exploring these beautiful countrysides and these touring France, just beautiful France, basically, and Belgium and a bunch of other places. That's basically what this game's in. So if you're looking for a getaway game, this is definitely the game for you. Will, A Wonderful World, PS4 digital and retail release. Become a god and help change the fate of people, even the world. In Will, A Wonderful World, you will receive letters written by characters living in urban cities. By rearranging the order and combinations of sentences in these letters, you are going to alter the destiny of whomever who wrote them. Cool. So, that is it for the top 10 news of... I should have brought a water with me. My throat. But that is it for the top 10 news. Hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 picks. I thought they're pretty interesting. I can't wait for Control. That's coming out here soon. I can't wait for Alan Wake. Oh my god. Please come to PlayStation 4. Oh my god. I really want that to come to PlayStation 4. I can't wait to play Control. If you haven't played PSVR, do yourself a favor and find somebody who owns a PSVR, find a place where you can play PSVR, to buy a phone thing, or just, I don't know, just, there's a bunch of ways you can obtain a PSVR. Just don't steal it. Don't do it illegally. But I am really enjoying doing this, and I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. I think we'll end it early today, even though we're at 53 minutes right now. So, we'll end it early. If you guys have found anything interesting, please let me know in the comments or questions, or tweet me at Dylan's Legos. In this podcast, in the video, if you're ever interested in knowing more about me, head over to DylanLepore.com. I am now selling merchandise as well, the Part-Time Gamer merchandise. So if you're interested in buying merchandise, please give me a shout out and I can send you a link. Or you can go to my website, go to merch store, go to the Linktree link in my Twitter or Instagram, and you guys can be happily wearing. What is that? You can be happily wearing. You could be happily wearing the part-time gamer merchandise, which is awesome. It's pretty cool. I'll be adding more and more as I think of new designs and new ways to do cool crap, which is awesome. And I think it's pretty cool. And if you ever want to support me, you can always donate or watch my videos, or just talk to me, or just say hey or what's up, or buy my merch or whatever. I super enjoy doing this. And also, if you want to use any of my services like web design, social media, or writing articles for your website, I'm always open, always willing to do work. I'll work with any client. I am super busy though, and so I can't take everyone, but it's a lot of fun, and I love doing it. And so I hope you guys can support me that way, at least, or just I can make something for you. Just let me know in the comments. Always wanted to know, and always wanted to talk to you guys at Twitter, at Dylan's Lepore, Dylan'sLegos.com. Dylan's Lepore. But in case you didn't know, I'm Dylan Lepore, and this is the 21st Monday Morning PlayStation Podcast. Each and every week on Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, a new podcast released on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcasting services talking about PlayStation news, games I've been playing, and some commentary on what's happening in my life. If you are not interested in the audio version and want something more, a week later, the PlayStation podcast is uploaded to YouTube with video, of course. And the question of the day and the show's time codes in the comments below of that video as well. You can find the MP4 on YouTube at youtube.com/Dylan Lepore, and find the MP3 on Anchor at anchor.fm/MMPP. And as always, feel free to visit my main site, DylanLepore.com, for blog posts, updates, articles I've written, and much more. Thanks for listening to my podcast, and feel free to chat with me on Twitter at Dylan's Legos. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye!